Taylor 4 and Muggervan 4. And for Swan Districts, Lynch got 3. The player that is judged best on the ground tonight will receive the prize from Canberra, the Thorn television set, and the best player of the series will receive the superb Holden Commodore from Ross Holden. Right now, though, let's go to Scotty Palmer for all the latest footy stock press.
Good evening. Welcome again to Punchlines, and we hope we bring you a few firsts in football once again. On May 22...
With all the latest on the football scene, repeating the final score here at VFL Park, 214-28 in favour of the Tigers. A very, very good win, and they entered the second semi-final now against the Swans. We'll be back with our best player award of the evening in just a moment. Rawlings and Preston?
Well, whichever way you looked at it, Rawlings did nothing wrong in the back pocket. Rioli magnificent on a half-forward flank. Young Satori for Swan Districts for effort right throughout the night. And Michael Roach, what more can you do than the fastest 10
goals,
of all times?
Right.
But I felt right throughout the night my best player was most certainly Dale Weightman. His handball was effective and he played 4 quarters of constructive football.
All right, Dale Weightman to win the award. Let's go down to the Richmond dressing room now, and here he is with Jack Edwards.
Well, thank you very much, Peter. I've just been talking to Dale. I asked him how many games he'd played. How many have you played now, Dale?
88.
88 day games.
Day games, yeah.
Oh, hello, a little bit of flack coming from the back. Well, what a great performance it was by Richmond. Even though your opposition was a little bit undermanned, Richmond certainly did it well. Have a look at that. And if it's not cold enough out here tonight, they've gone and done all that for it. Well, you've certainly got some mates around here, Dale.
There's only one bloke who would have done that, was Malthouse.
Well, Mickey was telling me earlier that... how is it? Nice and warm down there, is it?
Nice and cold.
Come here, mate. The viewers out here want to know what's going... Well, they can see what's going on, but you've had the good fortune this evening to win the Thorn colour telly from Canberra. Yeah. And my Mickey Malthouse was telling me earlier, I'll come back to that Richmond are giving the players half of what you win from the Escort Championship.
Yeah, so that's our incentive. We've played 2 games now, 2 hard games, I think, because it's always been wet. The first game was against Essendon. You need to be a duck to get a kick, I think, and tonight wasn't as bad, but it was always wet, and we've got an incentive. We get half the money, and we'll put it to good use.
Well, do you know, if you win the big one, of course, in the Escort Championship, that the club gets over $100,000, so that would be more than $50,000 to the players. What would you do with that if you wanted?
Yeah, I think we'll get past Werribee, so we'll be right. I think we're heading for probably America or somewhere like that. Yeah.
Well, Dale, I know you want a nice hot shower after that little bath you've had. Thank you very much for coming to Seven's microphone. And once again, the Thorn telly from Canberra.
I'd like to thank Thorn and Canberra Television for the great prize. I know that'll be good. I'll stick it in my bedroom. I'll be able to watch. I'll be able to sleep and watch the TV at the same time.
Well, thank you very much, Dale. Well, we'll be back at VFL Park just after this short break.
And first of all, down to the Swan Districts dressing room, here's Doug Wade.
Let's see what he's saying, Al.
Al? Can you put your story across? Well, Doug, we were forced into a difficult situation, and I've been over it before, and, we were keen to play Richmond on the 1st of June. That was our original date, and that was transferred to the 8th of June. And then we were forced into a 22nd engagement, which just made life a little bit difficult for us back home. The competition's very tight. Swan Districts haven't won a premiership for 19 years. We're on top of the table back home. Sides that do travel interstate really have the job ahead of them. Perhaps the best sides out of Western Australia have played Escort Cup football have failed, and also from South Australia. And even though we kicked a paltry score this evening, there's been sides that have come across and still kicked the same paltry score. But, getting back to the story, I think we've got an obligation to our members. They keep our club ticking over. And, they've been starved of a premiership, and we're in a situation where it's a vital game coming up on Saturday. We must win it to have the right to play in a second semi-final. So I just had to weigh all our pluses, our priorities. I had a look at our priorities, and I just felt that our priorities were to our supporters back home, and also earning the right to play in the second semi-final come in about 8 weeks' time.
Well, I suppose it's disappointing, especially to me, because of all the teams that I've seen come across from Western Australia. I felt that Swan Districts were the ones that could have a real chance of getting into the finals.
I feel that, Doug. If I had perhaps brought our full muster across, I felt that we could have tested Richmond. I really do believe that. But, you know, the records prove sides that do travel interstate, they normally get beat the following week back home. And, you know, it's just so vital this week for us to win. We play South Fremantle. There's only perhaps one game between the top 5 sides over there. We're on top of the ladder. We hold that right at the present moment. So you can understand, you know, the responsibilities that we have to our members and supporters. And in the last 10 years at home, we're the only side that haven't won a premiership. So we're really the underdogs back home. And, you know, I think we've had to look at it. We've failed over the last 2 years. We've been there. We played in the grand final in 1980 and we're beaten. And then we played in the preliminary final last year and we're beaten. So back home, people believe that we have trouble handling the pressure. So we've just got our priorities right at the present moment. We're looking forward to playing in the finals. We're going to take the challenges. And I firmly believe that we'll win a premiership this year. And unfortunately, something had to go by the board, and it was an Escort Cup game, which I'm sad to say that a lot of people look upon us as though we've done perhaps a disservice to football. But I think I'd like to think that they can appreciate our point of view back home.
OK, John, well, let's hope that what you've done is worthwhile and you win that premiership.
Thanks very much indeed,
okay.
Doug.
Thanks very much. Now it's over to Jack Edwards.
Oh, thank you very much, Douglas. Well, I have Francis Bourke with me here, and rather happy Francis Bourke. You've kicked the record score, Francis. You wouldn't have expected that, or did you?
Well, I didn't know what the record score was, Jack, and I still don't for that matter, but...
well, you'll have it tonight.
Well, no one in their wildest dreams, I suppose, could expect to kick 34 goals, but particularly when we scored only 9 up to half-time, I felt that we should have done better than that, but, oh, well, it's good to kick goals like that. I hope we can do it all the time.
Well, Roach's performance must have been a real highlight for you, 10 goals from 10 kicks.
Well, he had one of those nights where every time the ball came down and fell into his arms, and in fact I can remember it bouncing off someone's shoulder and across to him, and kicked the ball through from about 4-5 yards out. Half those times he kicked, half the 10 goals he kicked, so he won't get it as easy as that on Saturday, Jack.
No, that he won't, but on the debit side you've lost Taylor, or so far you've lost Taylor with the medial ligament.
Yes, that's true. We don't know how serious Brian is, of course, but at this stage it'd be extremely unlikely to be playing on Saturday.
Well, I don't suppose you'd have any plans for finals, but you're certainly going to be in them as far as I'm concerned. Would you have any thoughts at this stage who would be the hardest team for you to beat?
Oh, not really, Jack. You know, the finals are still a long way away, and to be lining up teams as potential finals opposition at this stage is rather premature. You know, there's still a hell of a fight to be fought yet for first, second or third, and we're keen to secure at least either of those 3 positions, and I think any speculation or thinking towards finals from here is premature.
Well, Brian Taylor has a medial ligament, like I've said. Now, how many weeks do you think it would be before he could play a game?
Oh, I'd have to ask the doctor about that, Jack. And really, you need a day, I think the doctor said, that before they can assess with any sort of judgment or fair judgment on the extent of the injury.
Well, thank you, Francis. Congratulations once again. You've had a great win this evening, and may everything go well for you for the rest of the Escort Championship and the rest of season 82.
Thanks, Jack.
Question 1. What about you've taken 3 and you've taken 18? Would you like to do a trade? Remembering that if you take another box over yonder, of course, it means then that there are fewer boxes to go through and you get closer to the $50,000.